Welcome to the channel, Trader Jan speaking. We have an interesting situation here after the market analysis for the 27th of July. We are seeing the price moving back to the previous daily high here, and I'm kind of expecting that the market's gonna bounce back off that one. So I look at the moment here. If we see at the volume profile of that little candle, there is huge less interest here, even though it's predominantly a salespeople, but the sales, but that market doesn't push further. But I actually I'm waiting until the market's gonna hit this one here, that high volume area. Or actually, it's if you look at the volume profile of the day, it's touching now this low interest area here, which it's refrained from going into before. That was a daily high, and then it pushed through it, and now it comes back. The market is very slow. It's Asia session after all, so we need to be very patient in what we are doing here. So I'm going to stop the recording for a moment until what I want to see here actually is, like, now there are buyers coming in, but what sometimes happens, there's a lot of limit buy orders here, that's this area here, and they are sometimes pushing the price up. But in that case, I prefer the limit buy orders to diminish, because it is a low volume area here anyway. And the limit sell orders actually coming from above here and trying to get to rise the market orders. To give them some food, give the market orders some food to move up. But at the moment, the majority is still limit buy orders. And there's some absorption here going on of those buy orders here, those bars. So, and then there's a typical D candle here, so it could go in both directions, and no interest up here, no really interest up here. So I just gonna go mute here, and I'm gonna let you watch what happens in the market. So this is a typical sign for me that I should not trade along, because market sell orders are here and the limit buy orders are here, and they're kind of feeding the sell orders, so they could push the price down. What I want to see is actually, if I want to go long and I'm here looking at a price action, more inclined to go long, especially looking at this resistance area here. What I want to see is this position here, just the other way around, like market buy orders here and the limit sell orders dominating compared to the limit buy orders. What the liquidity battle here shows actually is the delta. It's not that there are no limit sell orders up here. We see them here on the chart, definitely. But this is the delta. This is like, if we look at the area here, like between here and here, there are more limit sell orders, limit buy orders currently here. So when that one shifts from limit buy orders to limit sell orders, meaning the majority of the volume goes up here, that's one of the indications that the price might go up. Not a guarantee, but it's just an increased sign. So we have the market orders coming in already. Delta is increasing, less 100 delta for that candle already. The candle went down here, maybe minus 100. That should be that peak here, that week. But look at that, the market buy orders go back again and the market sell orders are dominating again. As well for the market buy and sell orders, that's a delta. It's not there's no like market sell now going on here. It's just that there are more market buy orders than market sell orders. That's the only thing what it shows. It shows the delta of it, not the absolute numbers of them. What I'm looking for as well here is for the volume. So like this one, it had a negative delta of 200 because it's a 200 delta chart. So a negative delta of 200s, and it had a lot of volume printed. So there was a lot of interest in pushing that down. Now, if I want to go into a long, I want to see a lot of volume associated with the delta 2. So here I would not go into a long trade yet until there's more volume coming and then ending up with a 200 delta difference. And even more in this specific situation, because it got rejected here at the very same level, I would even probably wait for one high volume 200 delta candle plus maybe one more candle, and then I would go in. And I would definitely like to see the limit sell orders dominating here and the market buy orders lifting the offer up into the limit sell orders. But you know, with a volume of 3, 4, 8, 10 uh, uh, contracts per second, that's Asia. So that's a peak of market buys, which I was actually waiting for. And then the limit sell orders seem to take over. I'm getting ready to go in there, but not yet. I want to see that candle finished and then being followed up by another 200 limits, 200 delta candle. And the volume looks already quite good, so the candle has closed. Now the market sell orders here kick in, not much though. So it's pushing back, pushing back. It could be just another trend following reversal. So actually, from a short-term trend, that's like the short trends. That's why I want to see more action going on up here, but at the moment it doesn't look like that. So I better stay out of that game. It is a high risk thing here anyway. It is in the middle of, giving here, it's a kind of a low volume area here. But if it would come up here over that area and then would fill this area, that would be awesome. But we are not there yet. We're just kind of assuming, we are contemplating if this one gonna be the which was the rejection area, which was the resistance area. Now, will that be the support area? The volume of dot candle is mainly on the bottom, and it's even pushing the price even more down. Market sell orders are dominating. Yeah, look at those small numbers, but you know what I mean. Might be even that the market goes down now because I wanted to wait anyway, and still one of the 200 ticks, 120 ticks down here. I wanted to wait anyway until the market reaches that level. Um, this range is 300 ticks long. So part of me is hoping now the market goes further down. So just another trend reversal, trend following. Um, let's see what happens. So it looks like the market wants to push up there. Let's see. Mhm. One thing I always like to see that's from the market map. There has been a high volume here. From that high volume candle, and I'm wondering if the market is able to break through that or actually returning. There's been a high volume printed here. So actually, if I look at that one, maybe I was too pessimistic, waiting until down here. The market printed a lot of volume here already, and then returned to that volume and printed some volume here too. Let's see how much that one actually is in real terms. Not too bad for an Asia session. And then it's pushing through over there, but still not true. So that was nearly a lot of buying interest coming in here, and limit sell orders. They are trying to catch that one, but it was not really breaking that lower high. So I see now here, that's what part of what I want to see is seeing that the limit sell orders are taking over from the limit buy orders. So the market is pushing up. I'm gonna check that I have my indicator here. So that one makes sure this one here, that's account statistics indicator. That one makes sure that I gonna have a record of that trade, which I can then do my analytics on. So it would be an early entry if yep, I guess
Order
I'm gonna
filled.
go in there. It's more like a, not really hope, but yeah, maybe it is more hope, let's say. But I saw the limit sell orders taking over here, the market sell orders coming in, but at the same time absorption happens here. So the market sell orders can't really push the price much lower. This one here, the red and green shades you see here, that's another of my indicators. That's called a trade visualizer. I'm a graphical person. Here you see where the stop loss is. That's always 100 ticks for me or less. And that's the take profit here. And I'm going to take down the take profit actually to the previous high of the day. That's going to be
Order
here.
canceled.
I need to check if there is some. Okay, the market might just push as well up here. That's a delta view here. So there's a lot of, there might be trapped buyers that were buying up here, and the price went down. So the market might just push a little bit up here to find those trapped buyers here. And there are market buys now pushing up here, pushing up. I think the market wants to go through that, but it is held by limit orders. So the energy is there, but yeah, can't really follow through yet. So what I don't like to see is here the market sell orders and the limit buy orders are getting dominant. But the market is working on that area here since a while, so I hope that one gonna push through at some point. And at the moment here, you see the absorption happening, which is not like market buyers are coming in, but the absorption is happening as well, which means market buy, but the price doesn't really move here. So there might be because of low interest. If you see the candle here, there's not much interest. There is volume coming in from both of the candles, so that's a good sign already. Volume is on our side. Delta is getting up as well here, so yep, not too unoptimistic about that one. If you look at the account statistics indicator, we are some ticks in the plus, but you know, not enough, right? Not enough yet. Um, there seems to be low interest up here, so and the sellers are popping in here. Don't take it too seriously, sellers. Yeah, leave me some space up there. The buyers need to take over. The buyer without buyers, that's not gonna happen here. So here with my trade visualizer indicator, I see the risk reward is currently below 1 to 1, not good, but I think it's a reasonable area here. If I look at that candle, yep, probably would more go down here below that area here. But yeah, let's see when the market reaches there. And here it is, my stop loss is at 100 ticks, and that shows the percentage of my area. So it's 2% actually. I'm working with 2%, even though it's micro, but my account, it's an evaluation account. And even though there's like 550,000 here, whatever the number is, but it's a maximum drawdown of 2,500, which makes $50, 2% of the account size. It's oversized, yeah. That's should be less than 1%, or ideally a 0 to 1%, but with a small tick size, that's just you need to take some risks. But I want to find out if that one works out. And volume is on our side. Volume is pushing up. Market data, what's happening here? Market data is up. Usually that's a sign of me getting out of the markets. That's not a good thing here. "40 seconds being blind." Luckily, the orders are all set. So those are the take profit and the stop loss are in the on the exchange already. Okay, so now we are back. So this one is the trapped buyers, which we now like to take. And now we're gonna see we are plus whatever ticks. And do I get nervous already? I actually do get nervous, but maybe I should more trust my system, because technically speaking, we are still, there's not much interest here, right? There's not much interest. Do we take at least some ticks? I'm getting nervous already. Or do we let the market play out? But volume is on our side. So doesn't look too bad. Where's my demand index here? That's a typical issue with the demand index. Sometimes it is when with ATAS X, when the when the history data is not enough, then the demand index doesn't really paint. So here what we see, the price went down here, down, 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 but the demand index went up anyway. So that's usually is a bullish sign. So I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna stay in the market. Limit sell orders are taking over. They want to pull the price up. The market buy orders, that's what I'm watching for. The market buy orders need to push the price up now. Otherwise, that's not gonna be a very good trade. So looking at the volume being printed here, there has been some volume here. Oh yeah, and that's a nice sign when there's a volume being printed above the previous volume, which was breaking. That's a good sign, and that one, the price went back into this area. We cannot see it here because I set until touch. Yeah, doesn't help. We can see at the delta as well. Okay, no, and we see the cumulative volume here too. So let's see if we can reach the old daily high or if we're gonna be pushed back. At the moment it's not looking too good, but it will only be not so good if we pass through this high volume area here. We push through it, we build a new high volume area up here, and then we should follow up. That one has been retested, and the price should move up a little bit more. The take profit is at 97 ticks, stop loss is at 100 ticks. I could move up my stop loss actually into this area here, but I don't want to be in well, a victim of those sudden pushes down. So as long as the market is up here, that area, be up above this little volume here, above this little volume, then I'm happy, and even above that volume here. But once it goes down here, I'm not so happy anymore. It's 46 ticks. Ideally, it's printing more volume up here, so it has a new basis. If the market is printing volume higher and higher and higher, that is a good sign that the market actually wants to go higher. It's all a matter of volume. So, and the limit sell orders, they are above the current price, dominating, so they want to pull the market up here. If you look those sell orders here, I've got the heat map thing as well here. So yeah, if I trust that those, you see them here in the adaptive market here as well. So I could set my targets over here because that's where a huge volume is, and volumes is usually a goal for. Now the sellers are taking over. Let's see if the remember the volume here, if that volume is actually holding. That volume here, if that one is holding or the market is pushing down again. Let's see, let's see. I'm gonna keep my 100 tick stop loss here. It's worthwhile finding out what the market wants. At the moment, it looks like that area is going to be rejected, but yeah, it's a complete fight between the market sell orders and the market buy orders. It's kind of a balance at the moment. And what I'm a little concerned about, the market buy orders jumping in and it's getting absorbed here. So not a good thing. But let's see how it's working out. Now the market sell orders, they're pushing through this one here. They're like a big push, a very big push. So getting, they're retracing. Let me switch on the, so those are two modes from the liquidity battle indicator. This one is more a smoothened way. So if there's an order coming in, then it's gonna get pushing down, but it's fading away. And now if I look at that one, that's like an immediate view on the different actions. Here it looks more like the market gonna hit my stop loss. I could move my stop loss below this one here, but that one would be 26 more ticks, which I'm not willing to take at this moment. It's not worth it. The market is trying to push down here, but it's holding, it's holding, it's holding. And that's slightly above my stop loss. Once it's breaking through here, I'm willing to take the loss. Pushing, 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 but the market is holding. Here the market is holding. If you look at the volume profile here, market is holding up. A lot of selling going on here, but the market is holding up so far. But I'm willing to try a re-entry once the market finishes here with that area, and probably going into this area here. And when the market's bouncing back from here, I'm willing to take another trade. The volume down here is not too much. Look at the amount of negative delta down here. There's interest below that. Just needs a little bit more push from the market sell orders to get there and to get filled. What I would have done in the old days is I would have changed my stop loss down here to this area, going here 114 ticks more, and then I would have hoped that this area is holding, but that's more a matter of hope. So I'd rather get stopped out here and try a re-entry than relying on hope that this one will hold. Not much interest here if you see that one. The main interest of market activity or trading activity is now here. And just needs a heavy push of the market sell orders to get down here to get all these stop loss orders here to recharge and then push back up. And rather than putting my stop loss down here or down here, I rather put a market buy order or at a buy order here. So in case, so that's usually the space where people would place their stop loss. And a smart guy once said, okay, place your buy limit
Stop
orders
filled.
where other people put their stop losses. So let's see if that holds true. But I want to see a dominance of the buyers first. So I got stopped out, minus 100 ticks profit so far for the day. Let's see where the market goes to end here. Not surprisingly, and now there's a lot of buying going on here, but I'm not going in there yet. I just want to see the market buy orders, but the buyers are coming in. I suspect the market wants to push it down here into that area or even here into that area. So that was a trade, minus 100 ticks. It was based on the logic that the market pushed through high volume area here, was building up its own high volume area higher, and then it has broken this lower high, and it will break the price action. But that was obviously a wrong assumption. So that was trade number one, and gonna be back if there is any other trade happening. So welcome back. The market broke through that area here. And now let's see what happens when the market hits this area from before. Is there, there's quite a bit for Asian circumstances, quite a bit of selling going on. It is more, my suspicion is that this is more of the limit or of the orders, stop loss orders. But the market is pushing down further here, pushing down further. There's some resistance here going on. So what I would wait for typical market reaction here, if you look at its short-term, short price action, but then it picks up here, it takes all those orders up here, and then it goes further down. Nice. It all makes sense after the move, right? So I went in here on the move up, had the chance of 28 ticks of profit, but I'm now even more lucky and even more happy that I went out here and not put my stop loss even more than 100 ticks further down. So I'm quite relaxed now. See what the market does, how deep it's gonna go, and then we are gonna see. Maybe this area here is an area where there was high volume printed here for the session, at least at that time. And here at that time when it started, that's why the candles are yellow here. Here you see that's another indicator of mine. It's a market footprint where it monitors the delta at the volume per candle, and if that volume is unusually high compared to the others in the surrounding area. There's some mathematical models behind that one, why this one is increasing here. So in order for a candle to reach that level of being marked as yellow, it needs to cross over there. But over time, this is gonna fade away again, so the boundary here gonna change. But that's a market footprint. That's just monitoring volumes and getting notified of those candles which had very high volume. And you see here, those had a high volume. And then these ones here short before the bottom had high volume as well. Yeah, not conclusive. It's not the only indicator. It's not the only sign, but it's an indication of what the market is currently doing. This one here is an area which I marked as a potential support area for the market when it comes down to the previous high, and if the market wants to go further up. The market pushed up quite heavily here. It's worked its volume down here. Now the question is, does the market go further down to this high volume area, grabbing all the stop losses of these trades? Market spent quite some time in that area, even though not a lot of volume here being printed there. So demand index wise, we are now down here again, like the levels before, slowly getting down, slowly getting down. Ideally, we have a situation like here, even though it's failed us before, we have a situation like here. Here, the markets went down and then went up again and made a higher low, even though the real market here made a lower low in terms of price. That's a divergence between the demand index and the real price. What I'm looking forward now is to have some more volume printed in one of the candles, which is a sign of either continuation or a reversal. But without high volume here, there's no a way for me to go in any trade. I just marked an area of high volume here, so we can see how the market's gonna react here. It's printing already more volume. So is it the stop of the move already or not? I don't know. So that the next challenge gonna be, we have here short-term a bearish price action. Now, do I wait until this one is broken? Since I'm not expecting to move for the market to move higher here, I'm kind of inclined to go into another long if the market shows me the right signs. So it's now 2 o'clock in the night, Chicago time, which is the start of the European session at 8 o'clock. And what we want to see here is the change from the sellers to the buyers. But so far, no, can't see that one. The volume is coming in, but still if you have the dominating limit buyers and market sellers, that's not going to change anything on the direction. So we got a lot of volume up down here. So what we want to see, you want to see that this area is going to be pushed through. Okay, I'm stopping recording now. So we see what the market does and then later on come back with once there's a trade opportunity. So now coming back to the screen sometime later, let's review what happened and maybe we have a direct trade opportunity. So the last time we've been on the screen, we had this trade here, which completely failed. And now we know as well why, and that's usually the case in trading. You always can explain things later. So here the trade went against us and was good that I stick to my 100 ticks maximum stop loss. Before I was talking about, okay, maybe moving the stop loss down here in the hope or maybe down here in the hope that somebody's fishing those stop losses from these buyers here. But as it turned out, the market went straight through. I mean, straight in relative terms, it's slow. It's Asia and Europe just started. Came back, bounced off this area here, and there was a high volume area. There was like a range here built by these buyers and sellers. Bounced back here, and then actually went down. And if I look at it, there would have been good opportunities to trade short. Surely enough, this is clearly shorts. Now we gain momentum again on that place here. We have the market sellers selling into the bid, and let's see if it can actually be hold. So this one would be a strong resistance. It used to be the old low from the Asian markets. Now it's paced through it here. I like those areas because those are former support areas, here support, and then here resistance, and then the market comes back. And the only thing which I want to see now here is actually another candle with a negative delta and sellers popping in here. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. It's like more of the buyer's game. So, but they are being absorbed here. So nothing decided yet. It looks like the market had its, now the sellers are kicking in. I always wait until that candle is closed. It happened too often in my life that I like spontaneously now the market sellers pushed the price down, but then it went up again. It might be that was a first wave. If there's a second wave of sellers pushing in and then the candle is closing, that would be a even stronger signal for me to enter that trade. I've seen that sometimes in the past. It was like, okay, sellers pushing in, and then probably they like to see what happens in the market, because we should never forget that there are people which are on the search for liquidity. They don't want to harm somebody else. So here the second wave is coming. They don't want to harm somebody else. They just want to find liquidity to fulfill whatever they need to do. So sellers popping in, but absorption is happening as well. So
Order filled.
yeah, a reason for me to pop in because the next candle was forming and the sellers had their second push. Now let me activate my trade visualizer so I see where my stop loss is. Stop loss is a bit, let's say, low. It's a bit optimistic. Better would be the stop loss up here, but on the other hand, as wise people sometimes said, don't go in there when your signals come. Put orders there where you would put your stop loss. Like here's my stop loss. I would put a stop loss here. That would be my second entry if the market goes up there, and then enter the market. But yeah, looking at the footprint here of that candle, it looks like it has a steep curve down here, and it finds some interest on the upside. And there are buyers jumping. And let's see the real market, not just a smooth market. Yeah, if I look at the footprint here, there's a lot of buyers up here, but they're being absorbed. And sellers are popping in. Somebody wants to see the price lower, which I like. The jumpy reactions of the liquidity battle here is because I switched the mode from a smooth mode like here, where it takes some time until the candles and the bars and the pistons here, they are going back to their original value. Here, that is pure market activity. So this is like That's how the orders are coming in. Looks like the market is tending up. I hope it gets exhausted here where the other candle had a wick. Maybe I should have waited until, this kind of thing is sorting itself out. We had candles here with 130 ticks. Now sellers are showing up again. The price didn't make it up to the wick of the previous candle. So it is a continuous push to the downside, which I like. Let's see. Now the market map indicator, which I show here, is not really an indicator. It's my goal is to put transparency towards what happens in the market. So the market map is like the heat map, which is shown in the background, and that shows where the most volume was traded. It could be volume, like here, CV cumulative volume, cumulative delta, volume itself, and just delta. So it could be all of it, but I usually say it's usually show cumulative volume, and it's adapting to, since here I activated the screen, so it's only showing what is on the screen here now, what has been generated on the screen. Now, when I move a little bit more left, sure, those things, they're gonna diminish. It takes only that stuff into account which has been traded at that time on the what is on the chart now. So if I look just showing this one here, then I see three major areas. One is here, a lot of volume up here. You can zoom into it. Yeah, a lot of volume up here. Then market went down, and this volume here has been built after that volume. So the volume moved down in the market, which is a good sign actually. Now here we have this volume here. This was already there before, but it got even more after it passed, because it's what I show, it's cumulative volume. So that is good. That volume is actually moving down. Now we have here more volume moving down here, if you see that one. And now we're going to watch and what happens actually here in that range. What happens, because that has been volume which has been printed on the way up. So there will be some resistance down here. Then this little line here, I've got a market footprint. I call it market footprint, not candle footprint or something. I'm calling more market footprint. And that one, what that one shows actually is specific. It selects specific candles and how they, especially in that case, how the configuration is now. It's candles with a lot of volume and moment. candles with a lot of volume. So if I take that one away, market footprint, why does this not go away? Let me check, let me check, let me check. Oh no, that's not coming from an indicator. Those are the daily lows from the previous days. Ah, right, yeah, those are the daily lows. The areas which I was talking before about the candles with a lot of volume, those were these ones, and they are not being shown when the market is when I move it out. So, but they are quite interesting because it's they are in specific areas of the chart. Like here, before actually the high was built, there were like candles which were exceptionally high compared to the rest of the market, compared to the previous part of the market. And here we had two candles, and not surprisingly, if you look at the right side, it passed through it and then it bounced back off this one. I was testing it again, it bounced back off this one. These two candles here, they had a significant impact on the rest of the market when the market came back into that area. Now, this candle here, what it shows here, you might wonder why that one is not like the bottom or the whole candle. It's what it shows is the value area of that candle. And looking at the value area of that candle says it's 70% of the volume of that whole candle was being printed in that area. Or here in this candle, you might easily think that this candle has a small body and a long wick, so it could push back, and the main volume is here. But no. The main volume is actually on the upper side of the candle, and this one here, this area, is the value area of this candle. So that's why I only marked that one. You can configure it in the indicator. That's the market footprint indicator. If you take that one off, then you will not see those special candles. That's a kind of a deep dive into the market footprint indicator. It's not part of the this trading exercise here, but we are actually 90, 100 ticks in front now with that trade, so I have a little bit of time. We'll let the trade run. Now, what you can select here, it's either a delta per candle, would be obviously different candles being marked, or ticks per second. That's more about speed of the candle itself. And then you can select delta per second, which is obviously different as well. And that's volume per candle, that's what I had on now, and a delta per candle. So I have volume per candle at the moment. I could always, change the settings and see what's happening. So now the indicators are a little bit, I would say, a little bit intelligent in the sense that it is showing not only like for a certain, I would say, let's say, show me all the candles with higher volume than 3,000 contracts, whatever. It's a bit more intelligent. Intelligent in the sense it calculates, needs to have a certain history here, that's for sure. But then it calculates like it takes the history into account. It's like it's a mathematical formula. It's called set score. It takes a history into account, and then based on the overall value of the history and some mathematical calculations, it calculates this threshold band here. And once here the volume increased and then it stayed up there, and now it's kind of, yeah, the volume didn't really catch up well. Now the threshold goes, as you can see here, goes down here. If you would change the range mode like to, let's say, hours, then you would say, okay, past amount of hours, fixed max. Oh no, that would be the period. Let's say candles. Then it would take the last candles into account, not the set score anymore. So here you see it takes a certain amount of candles, then it goes up, then here it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down again, because that candle is back in history. Fixed would be then those values here. That would be if you say, okay, I want to have volume per candle, but the max volume per candle would be not 200, but 2,000 or 20,000, nothing. So 2,000, or let's say we have 4,000 or 5 or 6. So those are the candles which are here. You see here the horizontal line. Those are the candles which have more than 5,000 volume per candle. And remember, it has a bit to do as well with those values. They're independent of the chart you use. So it's up to you. But considering that this is a delta chart, so that means delta needs to have at least 200 delta. So, and here there were like more than 6,000 contracts needed, traded in that candle to form. So there was a certain market understanding that's a nice area to trade, and it they traded a lot there. So it might be interesting as well to, when the market comes back here, what happens there. So, but we want to have here, we want to have the set score, a lot of settings here. The set score for me works well because it is a sign of, it's an automation. It's kind of, you don't need to specify the volume per candle. You just specify the set score and then that's it. But you can change the set score. That is done here. Like you can increase it. Like here, see the curve goes a bit higher. You can, which actually makes less signals, or you can decrease it. There is a certain, yeah, I'm not too happy about ATAS X at the moment, because if you change those sliders here, it doesn't have an immediate impact. ATAS on Windows, I'm not sure if ATAS X on Windows, but at least the old version of ATAS platform, that one was what was allowing to, if you change these values here, then it would dynamically adapt here for the values, but it doesn't do that in ATA6 yet. So let's see. I think that's about it, how it was before. So the market is kind of contemplating now, what shall I do? We are now 115, 18 ticks in profit. Now, if I go out now, at least I would have my losses in. Now the market seems to make a push down. Sellers are coming in. They have their fun here. And they push the market here into an area. Let's see if there's volume coming in addition here. So if there's volume coming like here, okay. Not only sales volume, it's so I'm happy with 50 ticks already because this one is a potential resistance area. There are a lot of limit buy orders here, so I'm tempted to give it a little bit of a more shot that the sellers are selling into the bid here because the bid is here, the bid is there, it's getting less and less. But the sellers have a chance there. Now I'm getting nervous. Yes, that's kind of normal.
Order filled.
Oh yeah, that's a trade. My trade, second trade of the day, it has a plus of 200 ticks with a stop loss of 100. And for the day, I'm now with 100 ticks profit, as you see here in the account statistics indicator. So it looks here that we nailed it a little bit, like exactly at the bottom of the chart. It might be as well that it goes just back and then the sellers are pushing it more down. Most likely do so. This one is a big candle and it turned out to be a negative delta. So it might be this one is just a small correction and then the market goes down anyway even more. And a demand index is at least on our side. And the cumulative delta, as you can see here, is below the 10 period EMA, which I noticed for myself that as long as it's below that one, like you can see here, seems to be a sustainable trend. But I got a little nervous and I want to compensate for my previous loss of minus 100 ticks for the first trade of the day. And now I've got a second trade of the day in with 200 ticks plus. So overall for the day so far, 100 ticks in front. So I pause for the moment and make a break, and then let's see what other trade opportunities are coming up. So let me shortly jump in here. As you see on the screen at the market, we had a perfect exit. The exit was not really planned in that level. It was a fixed 200 ticks profit taking. But as you can see here, the market from that one jumped up for about 160 ticks, and here was my entry, and the stop loss was somewhere here. Would still have a lot of room, but looks like the market wants to either find confirmation that this area here is not of interest anymore. But I would suggest that if I look at the trading volume, it might well be that the market is now doing its Friday ranging. Those three red areas here, those are daily lows from former days from September. And it might well be that the market is now just went down here, going up there, down and going up, just being ranging here, might well be. So this is the volume traded actually here. So if it is now pushing up here, and I wouldn't be surprised if the market would be ranging around this area for a while now. Let's see what happens. Range trading is fun too. You wait until the volume, the price is moment the price is reaching a border of the range. In that case, the range would be probably more like this area here. Let's paint it in so we can see for later. This one is already a very high volume node here. Let's see. Let's put a little bit tighter so we can give the market. Oops, what was that? Here. Put the market a little bit more space here and this one here. So if the market goes out of that range, we look how much volume is being traded here. If there's a lot of volume traded on the way out, then it's not very likely that it will come back and feel happy in the range. But if it goes with low volume and then comes back, and then might feel happy being back into the range. So we are here now, and let's see how it's gonna turn out. It's not unusual that the price actually goes back into the range until the middle. That's another 200 tick range and goes back into the middle and then goes out further. So not unlikely, especially this one here was a low of one of the previous days. It went lower here, then touched that one again, a low from another day, and then went out here and went in here. So let's see what happens, but range trading definitely is fun. So welcome back to the channel. It is now 10:45 Chicago time, and see what happened in the market here. So that was I was asking this morning about up or down, a range here, a range or short, and the market decided for a massive short. So since the opening somewhere here, we had about 1,800 ticks. Maximum range of the day is 2,100 ticks, and we are now on the way to go up or down. Nobody knows. So that's going to be an interesting evening. I'm going to monitor the market a little bit more. I got already 100 ticks in, so since the market, if I look at it here, is a little bit choppy, I'm kind of wondering what I should do. I guess I'm gonna
order filled.
Trade the rejection at the border um, of the range here, and go with the
filled.
so they're gonna go with the price action here, which was like more shorts with a small correction here, but it looks like it got up here, and it was based on the assumption that the market actually here with this big volume here on the negative side and some more volume on the negative side here, that the market is pushing back into that range here, which is visible here. So still there's a chance to the market go back in, that this was just let's say a push of the market to go out here. I'm gonna wait until the market sellers are coming in here. If the market sellers are not coming in, I'm gonna check how the market moves. At the moment, I have 3 trades, 0 ticks profits because I just took out the 100 ticks profit I had for my second trade. So I've got 2 trades for today so far, 2 where I got stopped out with the minus 100 ticks, and 1 trade where I made profit 200 ticks. So let's see if the sellers are coming in here. It's a huge candle here. The delta is still positive, but it looks like the market sellers are hitting the bid. But there is some, there's some absorption going on, that's for sure. And if I look here at that candle at the bottom here, there's a lot of selling, a lot of absorption here, majority selling, but they got absorbed. So that's kind of makes me worry about if the market would return to that at all. There must be some massive selling coming in at first. So that's okay. That was a lot of volume here on that candle, and the market goes up. Let's see how the market gonna react on this level here once it comes back to this volume. If it finds buyers, then we're gonna go long. If it gets rejected here, at the moment there are sellers, buyers coming in, but not at a big pace. Limit orders are building up. So if I look to go along, my stop loss at the moment would be here. It would be good to keep it here underneath this one or underneath that one. But now the sellers are taking over, which makes me not being very enthusiastic about a buy.
Order filled.
I went in with a buy here to make my stop loss actually be a little bit lower here, more towards the a rejection of that huge candle. So let's see if that can hold the huge volume which was here in that candle here in this area. So my stop loss is somewhere down here at the last tick of that candle. So let's see how far down the market will push, or will it go further up? The limit orders here are building up north of the current price. It could sometimes have a little bit of a pressure effect on the price to go down if there are too many limit orders north of the price. But it could be like a magnet as well. So nobody ever really knows. So we are now in the middle of that range here, which is volume-wise has not really been traded. So we are looking for a reaction at that level here with some buyers. Doesn't look, yeah, okay, good. Price moves at least up. So that high volume here gets tested now. So we can see here how the volume moved down here, 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 moved further down here. Was not much volume here moving down here, which then got touched again with that wick. Then the volume kind of moved back up again here, here, and this huge volume here where the market is currently at, and testing it again if that one is enough to go for another push upwards. At the moment it looks like it's, but it is well, not the definite. Sellers getting absorbed, that's good. Market buyers are not yet in there. So it's more like a 50-50 game now. Are we really getting enough liquidity, enough buyers moving the price up? Another huge volume here being built up. Actually around the same area here. So now it's 50-50. The price might move up, the price might move down. So I'll stay in the trade and see what happens. Volume is here. Look at the footprint of that candle. The price is like tackling around the lower part of the candle, and now the candle closed, which was because of the 200 delta. At the moment it looks more like the price wants to move down. And if the price gets rejected now here, that's more of a sign of a sell.
Order filled.
So I'm gonna reverse my trade. I'm gonna go for a short, and sure is right, the market goes up here, right when I go into the short. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, those are the times when you're kind of I was hitting the reverse button right here, but my stop loss was down here. So, but I was hitting the reverse button for a reason. And maybe at the end that reason gonna be right. So because the market pushed down through that high volume area here to this blue bar, is two very high volume candles, and it just pushed through. And if you look at the high volume area here, the high volume area here is in that area, and of the second candle is in this area, so a little bit higher, but yeah, market kind of ticks down. So looking at it from a 15 minutes chart perspective, could be one of those moments where you later think, okay, wow, that's so easy. The market went down here and reached exactly that area which we marked before, and then it bounced back here, and then it goes back again. But who knows? Nobody actually does know. The distance to here is 247 ticks, distance to here is 370. Market at the moment looks more like going up, and this is really an area of a high volume here. On the 15 minutes charts, it looks fairly straightforward. There's a high volume node here, but the market seems to like to push through that. If I look at the volume here, not a lot of volume has been traded here, but the price reversed anyway. So let's see what can come out. If this is a short pullback of the market and the market goes then back down here again, or if the market continues to go up. Here you see the market sell orders are coming in here, and there's a lot of like absorption going on. but there's heavy market selling, which is a good indication for short, and the limit orders here getting filled up south of the price. So it is a relatively good sign for a continuation of this downtrend. But now here at the same time, market buy orders are coming in. And now the sell side jumps in again. Let's see if the market wants to figure out what's happening when the price hits these levels here, which got rejected before, or which were support levels before, and if the market even wants to go further down. That's going to be interesting to watch. At the moment, it looks more like the market wants to go more down, but nobody ever knows. Here, seeing the footprint here, a lot of sell orders at the bottom of the wick, and they got absorbed. Market still pushes down. Okay, that's an interesting effect, and if you've seen here before, there, that's a nice jump. Sellers are coming in, pushing the price, but here absorption is going on. You see it here as well at the bottom of the candle. There are a lot of buyers here. Let's see when the market buy orders are coming in. Are they able to push the price up? Or is the price going to be stable and maybe gets the push up gets absorbed? Looks like part of it got absorbed. Now it's minus 81 ticks and open P&L is 86 ticks. So if I close it now, I'm with a black zero going out of the day. Now there's another push of, oh, that's a big push of market sell orders. Part of it gets absorbed, so usually that's a push towards selling or fishing the sell orders. Fishing the stop losses, I mean. So still it looks good. Negative delta is jumping in. It's not, the candles are pretty short here. I would be more happy if the candles would be a little bit bigger. Let me move that stop loss
Order
down
cancelled.
here. And the reason for putting it there was that there were a lot of buy orders here which got absorbed, but now there are buy market orders which are jumping in, but we see no reaction on the footprint on the price within the candle. So even though there's buy orders coming in, the price still goes down, which is a good thing for us because we are short. Nice push down. Yep, nice push down. That's good. Keep it going. Sell into the bid. That's what we want to see. I'm inclined to go out at some point here because that is the POC of the day, and here is the end of the range. So I am 229 ticks in plus, 230. So I might just close the trade, even though it looks pretty okay now. But we're at the end of the range and around the POC, and the POC is usually a good area
Order
of
cancelled.
closing it. So we are now at 142 ticks in the plus of them for the day so far. I guess I call it a day. I had quite some ups and downs. I had 5 trades, whereas 3 of them were going to a stop loss, and 2 of them were profitable trades. And overall results 142 ticks in the plus. So I call it a day. It's 11:12, short after lunchtime. Now I'll keep it running for a second here. I just want to know out of curiosity if this high volume area here, which was a high volume area before here, there was a huge candle here, and the market now came down to that level. If that one is really holding, yeah, if that one is really holding. So, or the market is going back up. At the moment, it looks more like, okay, it's gonna be rejected again here, gonna go more down. But who knows? Okay, now it's going up. So actually, I guess not too bad of a decision. Market buyers are jumping in now here, and limit sell orders are up. So I'm happy I went out there nearly at the finish of the move. Market might come back, probably will so because of the price action here. It looks more like a short. You could argue, like, yeah, kind of, yeah, rangy. So I might have been able to hold until here. So, but whatever happens now, it will happen without me. Thank you very much for listening. Those kind of videos are for educational purposes only, and they're more for myself because keep in mind, I'm still a not consistent, profitable trader. I'm learning a lot to try to learn as much as possible and I try to apply it. What these sessions here help me is to keep my psychology in check, to not go recklessly in any kind of trades and opportunities which I see. I made it a habit to record those sessions, to pub, put it public out there. If you can learn anything from them, even better. The way I show it here, I hope it benefits anybody. It benefits me for sure. I am the way I need to talk with the market, the need to phrase my thoughts is a much different way than if it's just going up only in my head. So, and if it benefits anybody else, if you're not benefiting, okay, that's okay as well. No worries. Then see you at the trading floor.